Okay, we're going to solder the connectors on the motor. So I'm going to fill the cup about 3/4 of the way full with solder. Okay. Then I cut the motor wires off a little bit. Okay, now make sure that it gets hot enough that we are getting plenty of solder onto the wire. Okay, and I usually pull it and make sure that it's making a good connection. Okay, same thing here. Gonna add solder, and then when we get done here, we'll add heat shrink to those connectors so that just the part that's going to connect to the ESC is going to be there. Okay, one more connector. I use 60/40 solder. Makes a big difference when you're soldering. The new stuff is, this is kind of the old school stuff. New stuff is like ROS compliant, and it just takes a lot more heat and everything to get it to connect. This will give you a great connection, less heat. It has rosin in the middle, so this is old Radio Shack solder. There's resin in here so that it acts like a flux. You don't have to use the flux. If you got clean wires and clean connectors, this will work just fine. And shrinking it up there. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to put it. Alright, let me back out here. Okay, your speed controller is going to go off to the side here. Let's get these connected. Okay, now the speed controller is going to go, I'm going to kind of tuck these wires in behind that motor. Speed controller is going to go right there. Alright, this is going to be the wire for that. I pulled these two wires up through the bottom. I'll show you that. And I kind of glue them there, and I actually make like a little, got a piece of shrink tube on there. I make a little connection here just by laying a bead across this wire. And that kind of keeps it in there. So there's really a thick little bead across the wire. It's kind of like a hot glue wire tie. It works out really good. Really won't hurt. It's rounded, so it really won't hurt your flight time or aerodynamics any. Works out pretty good. Then our ESC is going to fit right in the front here, and you can do whatever you want as far as mounting that. You know, just so you have enough room for your battery and everything. Your battery is going to go in the very front, and that will pretty much get everything going for you. You will get the wire, the push rod wire is going to be pre-bent. I'm going to bend one here real quick, and then we're going to clip that off here. Cutters. Now pull the receiver back up. Alright, so what we're going to do here is guesstimate the middle of this. So there's two bends here. I'm going to pull this arm off and poke this right through the hole on there. Now this is like 039, this is a really tight fit in the hole. Then you're going to place it right through there. You're going to get your arm back where it was. It should be like 90 degrees. And then what we're going to do is we will get our little set screw in here and set this right at 90 degrees. So your arm is at 90, your elevon is flat, and you can tighten this up. Now if you're a little bit off when you hook your transmitter up, adjust your sub trim. You shouldn't have to adjust this wire. Adjust your sub trim, and then I like clipping this off so it's not too long. And that's pretty much it. I mean, do the same thing on the other side. Get your prop on there, and I put Velcro in the base here and Velcro my battery in. And then if you really want to make it beefy, throw a little Velcro strap, glue it onto the sides, and make it so you strap your battery in. I'll show you the finished product when I'm done. Alright, so I've got my wires run through the bottom, up through the fuselage, and up there. Now I wrap my speed control wire around the servo wire. Not going to recommend that. I'm not sure if we'll get some type of electrical inductance and it'll mess things up. I got to test that, but I thought it was pretty cool as far as taking up the space there. Also put 2 pieces of Velcro, white Velcro in the bottom here, and then this is going to stick right in there. And that fits out perfect. Now your balance point is right at the end of the rudders. So if you put your fingers like right at the end of the rudders, that should be the CG right there. So right where these rudders end on the tips, you put your fingers right underneath, and that's the balance point. It's plus or minus a little bit. But this all fits really good. I changed my connector for the battery. I put XT60 on there, and I am going to put a little Velcro strap here. I'm going to put it so we'll be able to strap that battery in. Okay, I just bound it up. I've got my put my battery in here and strapping it down there. Okay, so the battery's in there good. My receiver I'm gonna place like right behind here. I mean, it's just all a tight fit here. I'm gonna put it right back there. Probably gonna use a little bit of hot glue or Velcro or something there just to keep it in that spot. You probably put another strap if you want to hold the connector down, or even I guess I could have made it just a little bit longer and like strapped it right through the strap for the battery. Okay, so we have it set up for elevon control. So you're going to see there's up, down, right, and down instead of up, and left instead of right, and all that. You can reverse your servos. You have to reverse your aileron and your elevator. If you can't do it by reversing servos, all you have to do is switch your elevator and aileron servo wire on your receiver, and then you'll be able to get it to go. So this is the way we got it. We got, okay, my motor's running backwards. I haven't checked that, so I'm going to unplug it. I'm going to take off my binding plug. I'm going to switch 2 wires here on my motor. Any 2 wires works fine. And we will be turning in the right direction. Now I put a left-handed prop on there. You can use a left or a right with these newer motors because they have a locking nut on there. The locking nut, I can tell you, on the first time, that is really hard to get tightened up because there's a nylon keeper in there. Now we should have our we should have all of our controls good, and then we should have lots of power, and I could probably blow everything off my bench if I wanted. And that's it. I mean, we're basically done. We're blinking because I unplugged this while the transmitter is still on, so it detected that we had a brownout. Well, it was an intentional brownout. So everything looks good. It is ready to rock. Build up. Got to clean up the bench here. Now it all looks really good. It all goes together. It's tight in here, and it's going to be tight in there when you get something this small, especially with a battery that big. But it should fly great. Now while we were building that, I was also working on this. So I got to show you a little feature on what we're going to do in the next video. That would be pretty cool, huh? Night flyer, and it's all embedded. There's nothing exposed.